we're about to kick off. Magnus will start with white, and I can't wait. This is going to be a fantastic fight. It always is between these two. Never any quick draws ever between these two. And okay, we see action. It's a King's Pawn opening. What will Magnus go for? Will it be the Spanish? Seems to be the theme of the tournament, the opening of the tournament so far. The Roy Lopez, the Spanish opening. And okay, which variation will Caruana choose for? It's the Archangel, the Archangelsk variation. And Magnus, he showed some preparation against this. He's faced it a few times in recent history.
Yesterday against the Mint, didn't he? So, yeah, I think. And he got a very good position there, didn't he, David, in that one, I think. So,
yeah, he faced it at the World Cup too. I remember kind of a mammoth battle in this one as kind of between these two warriors at Isle of Man a few years back with colours reversed, when it was actually Magnus employing this opening against Fabi. So mind games, they're kind of going down this well-trodden path where, of course, there's so much theory. But, definitely Magnus in recent years, he's kind of steering into that, despite the fact that kind of traditionally it's Fabiano with the opening kind of knowledge, the opening expert. Interesting moment here. White has various ways to play. Magnus, first one to think, first one to blink.
Yeah, this bishop c5 move that we see Fabiano play, the Archangel variation, is probably one of the sharpest variations of Roy Lopez, because black is trying to develop that dark square bishop to a very active square. But it does come with downsides, because you can walk into a pin. That knight on the king's side can often be pinned. We saw that happening yesterday. Magnus beating our min with that idea. And this is another idea with the dark square bishops facing off against each other, which can also be dangerous. At the right moment, white can push the pawn in the centre and make a favourable exchange of bishops here. So it's a really quite, I don't know, courageous way to play, but it is very heavily theoretical, isn't it, this line? Because both sides can get in trouble very quickly if they don't know what they're doing. Rook e8, first think is Magnus.
And Magnus trying to figure out his middle game approach here. And don't be fooled, because there are always tactics here. It might look like the e4 pawn is under fire, but white's got ideas of his own with that light squared bishop. Magnus places his own rook in the center. It's going to be a slow strategic fight. Meanwhile, we have got
okay, yeah, I'm going to try to grovel a draw in the ending, but Magnus is not going to draw this one.
Magnus doesn't look too stressed out right now, looks pretty calm. 2 connected pass pawns are always better than 1 solo pawn running.
It's like there's magic when Magnus plays. What happened to that 7-minute lead that Fabi had? He's not only down in the position, suddenly a big turnaround, but also just 30 seconds on the clock. And I agree. I think the move of this game has to be knight b7. All the action is on one side of the board, and then suddenly on the queen side, you make this tactical move, not aimed at checkmate, but simply trading Black's most important piece, and that seemed to be the decisive move of the game.
Fabiano simply couldn't recover, and what Magnus is doing now is just really kind of instructive. He's just stopping any potential counterplay on the queen side. The white king is able to kind of dart across if it needs to stop Black's pawns advancing, and you don't need to rush. That's the key in these types of endgames. White's F and G pawns, the 2 connected pass pawns on the king side, will start moving forward, but only when Magnus is ready. And okay, this B pawn will be hunted, but it's only going to be a trade. And this is actually pretty much identical to an endgame they had in their World Championship tiebreaks, when Magnus there also had 2 connected pass pawns running. Fabiano had 1 solo pawn, but Rook behind that pawn, and now it's just one-way traffic. White will finally have a free hand to start pushing.
Yeah, that's bad, yeah.
Yeah. But how easy is it to convert these positions with these 2 extra pawns?
If you're Magnus, very easy.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right?
If you're Simon, not so easy. So,
I think this one is quite easy because the aim of the game is just move the king, and the king is the one that's going to support the advance of those pawns. And the only thing that you have to be very careful of is when the black pawn gets to b2, the white king has to have some shelter.
Yeah. And right now, if the black pawn was to get to a b2, white can come back with the rook to e2 and just make sure that black's rook stays tight, defending that pawn. Could be a good moment to think about start pushing the g pawn, or does he need to be a little careful? He decides to first bring back the rook. Wants to put the rook behind the b pawn.
Yeah, he's tying down the black rook, making the black rook passive here.
You used a similar defense against Hikaru in Nakamura, didn't you, in Gibraltar? It was a different position, but where you defend the pawn from the side. I think I was commentating on that one, maybe with Ivanka actually, and was that right?
Yeah, we were commenting,
yeah.
but it was, in those days, the commentary abandoned for dinner time. But actually it was really to set up a masterclass, so we were all watching David play Hikaru at dinner time.
And it ended in a draw, David.
It did.
Very dramatic.
What was the name of the defense?
Vancouver.
It's the Luke Lucy.
The Vancouver position. You're right, Ivanka. For anyone interested at home, check out that game from the Gibraltar Masters 2000 a long time ago. Yeah, it's the Vancouver position. If you're interested, it's against the A or